The stars were quiet. The galaxy turned, cold and uncaring. And in that silence, one voice screamed. It came from a small planet near the edge of the known systems, Urala 5. A peaceful place, home to a gentle insectoid species known as the Thalana. They had no weapons, no armies, and no warriors. They believed in trade, knowledge, and harmony. Their world had never known war. Until now, a new signal flashed from their planet. It repeated every 30 seconds, weak, broken, but desperate. This is Thalana Prime, requesting aid. Enemy forces landed. We are under attack. We have no defenses. Please, someone, anyone. The message traveled through open space, bouncing from satellite to satellite, passing near trade lanes, through old beacons and dying relays. Nobody answered. The great empires of the galaxy ignored it. Too far, too small, no resources. Not their problem, but the signal reached one place it should not have reached. It reached Earth, the old listening post in the dark side of Earth's moon. Hidden beneath the gray dust sat listening post ECH-07. It had been silent for years. An old relic from the time when Earth watched the stars more carefully. Now most thought it was shut down. Inside, only 3 humans remained. One of them, Commander Rachel Cade, sat up straight as the signal beeped. Again. You hearing this? She asked. The tech officer Malik frowned. It's coming from somewhere near Sector Delta 49, very far. Way outside the usual traffic zones. Translate, Rachel ordered. The voice played again, now in English. Please, we are being wiped out. They have ships. Fire, screams. The message cut off with static. Then it started again. Looping. Rachel stood slowly. Her voice was calm, but her heart was racing. This isn't a trick. Someone's dying out there. Malik looked at her. Ma'am, Earth won't care, you know that. It's not our fight. Rachel stared at the stars above them on the screen. Maybe, but it should be. The Council's silence. Rachel sent the signal to Earth's Galactic Relations Office. She waited, an hour, then 2. Then a full day. No response. Earth had changed. Long ago, it had fought for survival. Then, after victory, it had gone quiet, peaceful, watching, waiting, ignoring. The politicians didn't want war again. They didn't want to send help to strangers, unknown species. No trade value, the report said. Not our responsibility. Rachel closed the report with cold fingers. She sent one final message. Request denied, Earth had said. But Rachel had another option. The Forgotten Fleet, 3 days later. In deep space beyond Mars, the dark hulls of 7 ships began to move. These were not regular military ships. They bore no flags. No symbols. They were old, modified, scarred. These were Deathworlder ships. Inside the lead ship, the HSV Vengeance, the crew sat in silence. Captain Elias Thorne, a man of few words, looked at the same message Rachel had seen. He tapped a button. Crew, he said, you've all seen the signal. You know the rules. Earth said no. He paused. I'm saying yes. No one argued. The Deathworlders were not part of Earth's clean society. They were born in fire, raised in deserts, ice storms, and savage oceans. They were strong, fast, and angry, and loyal. The engines came to life. Lights glowed red. The fleet turned toward the edge of the galaxy. To JOR, Ala-5. The enemy on the surface of Urala 5. Flames lit the sky. The Krellin Empire had arrived. Massive beasts, armored with black skin like stone, walked through the broken cities of the Thalana. Their weapons were heavy. Their laughter was loud. They had no fear. We take what we want, said Krellin Commander Grux. This world is ours now. The Thalana begged, cried, died. Their children were dragged from homes. The Krellin had come for sport, for conquest, for cruelty. Send your signal again, one Krellin said, laughing. Beg the stars. No one is coming. He was wrong. The first sign in orbit, 5 days later, a Krellin patrol ship went silent. No alarms. No signals. Gone. Commander, Grux frowned. Find out what happened. A team of Krellin scouts was sent up. They found the patrol ship floating in silence. Inside, the walls were covered in red symbols. Human writing. One word was written in many places. Enough. No bodies. No survivors. No answers. Grux roared. Who did this? Deathworlder arrival. The Tholana survivors in the caves saw something strange that night. Dark shape in the sky. Silent. Low. It moved like a shadow. Then it vanished. An elder Tholana whispered. The stars have sent hunters. No one believed it. But the next morning, the Krellin base at Outpost Delta was destroyed. Explosives had been placed inside fuel tanks. Blasts ripped through steel. Only one Krellin crawled out, screaming. He was missing his arms. He whispered one word before dying. Humans. Rachel watches back on the moon. Rachel watched it all. Someone had hijacked Earth's old satellites. They were feeding her live footage. A Deathworlder signal appeared on her screen. It was Captain Elias. We're doing your job. Commander, he said. Rachel smiled faintly. Do it well. Then the screen went black. Grux responds. Grux launched a full sweep of the forest near Outpost Delta. Flame tanks. Shock troops. Drones. They found nothing. No sign of enemy movement. Then the drone feed froze. One by one, the drones fell from the sky. Sniped. By weapons. The Krellin didn't understand. Grux screamed again. Who are they? What do they want? The Ghost War begins on the 5th night. Krellin soldiers found bodies of their own hang upside down from the trees. Throats slit. No weapons taken. Fear spread. The Krellin began firing at shadows. Their own troops shot each other. In orbit, a Krellin destroyer turned its weapons toward the planet to bomb the forests. But its systems failed. Its engines shut down. A small black drone was seen attached to its hull before the ship exploded from inside. Humans were not fighting a war. They were hunting. Final scene, cliffhanger, in a small hidden chamber. One Tholana youngling sat with an old elder. They listened as strange human voices echoed through the cave entrance. Boots, metal, breathing. Then a soft hand reached forward, a human hand. The child flinched, but the human kneeled. No more hiding, he said gently. We're here now. Final line. The stars did not send angels. They sent monsters. Monsters with human hearts. The forest outside the ruins of the Tholana capital was quiet. Too quiet. Krellin soldiers walked slowly through the thick trees. Their heavy boots crushed branches underfoot. Their weapons hummed with energy, scanning left and right. But there was nothing. No sound. No animals. No wind. Only silence, and silence to a Krellin warrior meant one thing. Something was watching. The scout team 5 Krellin scouts moved in a line. Their armor was thick. Their heads large and covered in dark bone plates. They were trained killers. Strong and ruthless. Their leader Jurek raised his fist. Hold, he growled. The squad stopped. Behind them, the fog hung low. They could still smell the burning city from here. He scanned the area. Movement. Just a shadow, left side. He turned quickly. Weapon ready, but nothing was there. They never heard the shot as sharp sound sliced through the air. Theft. Jurek looked to his right. The Krellin beside him dropped. No scream, no struggle. Just down. A perfect hole in his skull. The others panicked. Contact. One shouted, firing blindly. Plasma bolts lit up the trees. Another theft. Second Krellin fell backward, then a third. Shot between the eyes, the last. 2 tried to run, but a cable flew from the darkness. Fast and silent. It wrapped around the 4th soldier's throat. Pulled him into the trees. Only one Krellin was left. He ran, hard, breathing loud. Panic growing. He didn't see the wire at ankle level. He tripped. fell hard. And when he looked up, there was a figure above him. Human. Black armor, no sound. Eyes glowing faintly. A blade touched the Krullen's neck, then darkness. The Krullen, Camp Commander Grux, slammed his fist into the metal wall of his base. This is impossible, he roared. You are telling me 5 armed scouts were killed by ghosts? The officer standing before him trembled. No bodies, Commander, only blood trails. And this. He held up a small round object. Grux looked closely. A human made. Bullet. Old-fashioned. Solid metal. Primitive. Yet deadly. Grux crushed it in his palm. Find them. Burn the forest. Use everything. The human plan high above, inside the HSV Vengeance. Captain Elias Thorne stood before a large map. Red dots marked Krullen outposts. Blue lines showed patrol routes. Dotted white circles were possible Thalana. Refugee spots. He spoke without emotion. Every Krullen unit that steps outside the city dies, he said. No noise, no mess. Just disappearances. The soldiers nodded. Each one was trained in jungle warfare, sniping, traps, and hand-to-hand combat. They were born on a death world, Earth, the only planet where everything tried to kill you, and they had survived it. The first rescue in a small underground shelter. 10 Thalana huddled in fear. They hadn't eaten in 2 days. A child whimpered. Softly. Then, from the shadows, a voice came. Quiet, it said. The elder Thalana blinked. Who's there? Boots. Light footsteps. A human soldier appeared in the dim light, armor covered in forest mud. He knelt beside the elder. We're getting you out. Who are you? The soldier looked him in the eyes. Deathworlders. Fear. Spreads. The next day, 3 more Krullen patrols vanished. No screens. No signals. 1 camp was found with every soldier dead, and 1 word carved into the dirt. Go. Commander Grux called in aerial support, drones, flamethrower bots. They searched the forest, firing at anything that moved, but the humans were already gone. They moved like smoke, quiet, invisible. And every night, more Krullen died. The interrogation won. Krullen was captured alive by the humans. He was pulled into a dark room on the Vengeance. Strapped to a chair, lights off. Captain Elias entered. No armor, just calm eyes. Why did you attack the Thalana? He asked. The Krullen laughed. They're weak. They were easy to crush. And now? Now we die one by one in the dark. He laughed again, but it was nervous now. Elias leaned in. Your mistake was thinking kindness means weakness. Then he left the room. The lights stayed off. The Krullen never laughed again. Grux breaks in the main Krullen command center. Grux paced back and forth. Why can't we see them? He shouted. We have the best sensors. His tech officer whispered. They're not using machines. No comms, no energy spikes. They move like animals. Grux stared at him. No, not animals, predators. He slammed the table. Lock down the base. Pull back all patrols. We fight from inside now. The message that night. A large drone dropped into the center of the Krullen base. It beeped once. A message played. It was Captain Elias's voice. You had a choice. You came here with fire. You'll leave in ashes. Then it exploded. Not a bomb, a flash. A signal burst. Every Krullen weapon system shut down. Temporarily blind, vulnerable. And then the walls came alive. Humans entered from the shadows. Fast, silent, deadly. No warning. Only death. Escaped to the sky. Grux escaped with his guards to a ship above the planet. He looked down at Urala 5 burning again, but this time it wasn't the Thalana on fire. It was his own camps, his own outposts. He turned to his officer. What species did this? The officer swallowed. Humans. Grux laughed bitterly. No, not humans. Something else. Something worse. The Thalana whispering hidden caves. The rescued Thalana sat quietly. The elder looked up as human ships passed overhead. He spoke softly. Long ago, we believed the stars held gods. Now we see. They held monsters with kind hearts. The younglings asked, "Are they staying?" "No," the elder said. "They do not stay. They come when needed. And when the war is done, they vanish." Final scene. Suspense. Captain Elias stood alone in a dark room, staring at a holoscreen. A map of Krellin space blinked slowly. "Orders, sir?" His second asked. Elias replied softly, "War has just begun." This was the first strike. Now we show the galaxy what happens when you call for help, and Earth hears you. Final line. They never saw us coming. They still don't know where we are. But they now understand one thing. Deathworlders have no mercy. The jungle no longer belonged to the Krell. It was quiet again. But not a peaceful quiet. It was the kind of silence that made soldiers sweat, that made commanders whisper, that made monsters afraid. The Krellin had come to Urala 5 to conquer, to crush, and to laugh at the weak. Now they didn't laugh anymore, because the forest hunted them. Krellin. Patrol. Secure zone. 6 Krellin soldiers walked through the thick jungle, scanning everything. They had orders. Patrol. Search. Kill anything that moved. But their eyes kept darting around. One soldier, Darnak, whispered to another, "Why are we still here? No one survives more than a few days out here." "Shut up, we're Krellin, we don't run." A twig snapped behind them. They spun around. Weapons ready. Nothing. Silence again. Then a low beep from a soldier's belt. He looked down. Small red light blinked once. Then dash boom. The mine tore through. 2 soldiers instantly. Screams followed. Darnak ran, arm bleeding. Behind him, something moved in the shadows. Then, the sound of breathing. Heavy. Controlled. A black-armored human walked through smoke. Darnak opened fire wildly. Plasma bolts scorched trees. But the human had already moved. A knife pierced his side. Another struck his leg. Darnak screamed. Fell. Human stood over him. Said nothing. Just looked down. Then walked away. Darnak was left bleeding. Weaponless, broken. He wasn't worth finishing. Not anymore. Inside the Krellin. Base Commander Grux smashed a datapad against the wall. Another patrol. Lost. That's 30 in 3 days. His second-in-command, Velkar, trembled. They leave no traces. They set traps. They vanish into trees. We don't even see them coming. Grux shouted, "They are humans. They are supposed to be weak." Velkar whispered, "They are not weak, Commander. These are something else. Not like the ones we fought before." Grux glared. He remembered the Thalinus last message. A call for help. He had laughed at it then. Now, he wanted to erase it from history. On board the Vengeance, Captain Elias Thorne stood in the command bay, arms crossed, watching his team return. 12 soldiers, all alive, some injured. Faces calm. Behind them floated crates rescued Thelena. Quiet, thankful, barely breathing. Elias nodded once. "How many Krellin?" The team leader answered. 27 confirmed kills. No survivors. 3 bases cleared. Good. The room was quiet. Elias looked at the map. Red dots, enemy camps. Fewer than before. The mission was working. Deathworlders didn't fight fair. They fought to win. Fear spreads. The galaxy began to hear whispers. In black markets and shady space stations, smugglers talked in hushed tones. "Did you hear what's happening on Urala 5? Krellin troops disappearing. Bases burned. Rumors say humans. No, not humans. Deathworlders." The word meant something now. It meant something dangerous. Something coming. Alien. Prison camp. Nighttime near a destroyed city. A Krellin prison camp held over 200 Thalana. They were weak, sick, and silent. The Krellin guards laughed as they threw scraps to them. One guard said, "Let them die slowly. No one's coming for them." That night, The guards sat around a fire. One of them stood to urinate near the fence. He didn't return. The second guard went to look. Silence. The third guard raised his weapon. Too late. A rope looped around his neck. He was yanked into the dark. Then came the whistles. Soft, short, rhythmic. The last two guards backed away, aiming weapons. Something hit the fire pit. A grenade, but it didn't explode. It flashed. Blinding light. When the flash cleared, the last two guards were gone. Only blood remained. The prisoners freed. One, a Thelena youngling, crawled to the gate. A human stood there, big, covered in black armor. Helmet glowing red. The child gasped. You came." The human picked him up gently. "You called, we answered." He turned to the other prisoners. "You're free." Krellin Morale Collapse Esgrux stared at the reports. 6 more camps gone. 5 more patrols dead. Over 100 dead soldiers. Some found hang upside down. Others found frozen in place, still holding weapons. Fear grew. Discipline fell. Grux ordered new rules. No soldier travels alone. Always in groups. Never without drones. Even that didn't help. A message carved in steely Krellin transport ship returning from patrol landed rough at base. Its hull was scratched badly. Engineers went to repair it. They froze. Across the side of the ship, written in burned lines, were human words. "Mercy was not yours. Now it's not ours." Grux stared at the message. His hands shook. The hunter named Shade 1 Deathworlder became known to the enemy, though they had never seen his full face. His coding name was Shade. He struck at night, used old weapons, silent rifles, knives, tripwires. He played music during his attack, soft piano, played from old Earth. The Krellin called him the ghost with sound. One survivor told Grux. "He looked me in the eyes. He didn't blink, didn't speak, just stared. Like I wasn't real." Elias sends a message. The Deathworlders hacked into Krellin comes. One video played across all Krellin screens. Captain Elias Thorne, calm and cold. Behind him, Krellin bodies in bags. He spoke clearly. "You chose to attack the helpless, to torture, to kill. Now we are here, and we do not forgive." Then the video cut off. Krellin soldiers began deserting that same night. Galactic Council watches on a distant neutral planet. Members of the Galactic Council reviewed secret footage. Ambassador Veleth, a tall plant-like being, asked, "Are these really humans?" Another replied, "No, not the ones we know. These are Deathworlders. What should we do?" "We do nothing." "Why?" "Because, for once, someone is punishing the monsters." Grux's final plan. Grux knew he was losing. He prepared his final strategy. Evacuate the planet, regroup, strike from orbit. But as his ships lifted off, explosions tore through them. Anti-air missiles, from the jungle, from humans. Every evacuation ship crashed. Grux screamed into the comms. "Who are you?" A voice replied, "We are Earth's answer." The human mercy in a cave far from war. Captain Elias stood with a rescued Thelena elder. The elder looked up. "You came, even when your world said no." Elias nodded. "We remember our friends, even if others forget." The elder asked, "Will you leave us soon?" Elias looked to the stars. "No, not until the Krellin understand. They were never the apex predators. We are." Final scene. Cliffhanger. A Krellin warlord on another planet receives a coded message. It's just 3 words. "We are coming." He laughs, but the lights in his room suddenly go dark. A red dot appears on his forehead. Final line. No mercy, no peace. Deathworlders answer calls. With war. The cold stars watched silently. The jungle still burned. But now the hunters became the storm. Urala 5's sky was dark and full of fire. The Krellin Empire had ruled the ground for weeks. Their black ships shadowed the planet day and night. Their boots crushed the forests. Their weapons burned cities to ash. But But tonight, something changed. The Deathworlders unleashed high above the atmosphere. The HFY Vengeance and its fleet hovered. Silently, Captain Elias Thorne stood on the command deck. Eyes sharp. "Prepare the rescue teams," he ordered. His voice was cold, steady, and full of promise. "Tonight, we rise." Inside, the Vengeance soldiers checked weapons. Suits sealed tight. The air buzzed with tense energy. Lieutenant Mara, Elias II, tapped him on the shoulder. "Sir, our intel shows a massive Krellin base near the eastern ridge. They have over 500 soldiers there." Elias nodded. "Then we strike fast, and we hit hard." The first rescue down on the surface, in a hidden cave. The remaining Thalana refugees waited. Their numbers had grown. But fear kept them silent. Suddenly, above the cave's mouth, a shadow blocked the moonlight. A small group of humans lowered ropes. One by one, the Thalana climbed up, hands trembling. Captain Elias watched from above. "Get them all," he said. "Krellin." Alarm Commander Grux roared at his screens. "Alert! Enemy ships detected. Evacuation! Evacuation!" Krellin soldiers scrambled to weapons, but the Deathworlders moved too. Fast. Fire in the night explosions lit the forests. Missiles struck Krellin ammo dumps. Fire spread quickly. The jungle crackled. Krellin reinforcements rushed to stop the damage. The Deathworlders were already gone. Human tactics. Captain Elias moved like a shadow. His team struck the enemy from behind. Sabotaging communications. They cut power lines. Blew up supply trucks. No humans spoke much. Their silent fury was their weapon. The rescued Speak One, freed Thalana, named Lyra, looked at her saviors. "You fought for us." Captain Elias looked at her. "We answer calls like yours." Lyra's eyes filled with hope. Krellin desperation. Commander Grux cursed. "Stop them at all costs." But the Krellin were tired and scared. Their soldiers looked over their shoulders. A human soldier's story. Private Dax, a Deathworlder, crouched behind a broken wall. He whispered to himself, "I lost my family to war. I was born on a hard planet. They said humans were weak." He smiled. "They were wrong." He checked his rifle. "Tonight I fight for those who can't." Battle in the trees. The forest was alive with gunfire. Krellin soldiers fired blindly, but the humans moved. Like ghosts, they struck and vanished. Surprise attack. A Krellin warlord led a counterattack. He shouted orders, but suddenly, a grenade exploded near him. The ground shook. He looked up. A Deathworlder soldier dropped from the trees, blade ready. The warlord barely had time to scream. Victory and loss by dawn. The Deathworlders had destroyed the Krellin base. Casualties were high on both sides. Captain Elias stood among the ruins. "We're not done yet," he said. Hope for the Thalanath rescued gathered around the humans. For the first time in weeks, they smiled. Lyra hugged a soldier. "Thank you." Elias looked to the stars. "This is only the beginning." Final scene. Cliffhanger in the darkness of space. A shadow ship approached Earth's sector. Inside, a Krellin commander stared at a flickering screen. He whispered, "They rise. And so must we." Final line. The Deathworlders have risen. The galaxy will tremble. The stars burned cold over the shattered world of Jorala-5. The jungle was no longer just a place of hiding. It was a battlefield where the strongest would fall. Krellin, returned with fury. Commander Grux had lost too much. His soldiers were scattered and broken. His pride was crushed. He would not lose this war. From the sky, the Krellin fleet fired great firestorms onto the forests. Burning everything. No more stealth. No more hiding. Deathworlders brace. Captain Elias stood on the deck of the HFY Vengeance, watching the flames from orbit. "We expected this," he said calmly. Lieutenant Mara nodded. "They will burn the world to force us out." Elias clenched his fist. "Let them try." Ground battle begins. The jungle exploded with gunfire. Krellin soldiers charged through the flames. Deathworlder squads waited. They were ready. "Abemufung," Clash of Titans. Private Dax and his team fought fiercely. Bullets flew, trees exploded, and roars filled the air. Dax fired his rifle until the last bullet. Then, with a growl, he charged with a knife. He took down 2 Krellin before falling wounded. The Krellin warlord Grux sent his deadliest warrior, Zarnak, to crush the humans. Zarnak was tall, covered in black armor, and had eyes full of hate. He led a group of warriors into the heart of the jungle. Human tactics Captain Elias sent small squads to cut off Krellin supplies. They sabotaged ammo dumps. They hacked communications. The Krellin were trapped. The turning point at the battle's peak. The Deathworlders launched a surprise attack from underground tunnels. The Krellin didn't expect it. Chaos broke out. The cost of war. Many soldiers died on both sides. Private Dax was badly hurt, but survived. He looked at the burning jungle and whispered, "This is just the beginning." The Thalana fight back freed. Thalana joined the fight. Their knowledge of the forest helped the Deathworlders. Lyra, a young Thalana warrior, led a group of archers. They took down Krellin scouts silently. Grux's last stand cornered and furious. Grux prepared a desperate attack. He called for all remaining ships to bombard the forest. Deathworlder's secret weapon captain Elias revealed a hidden fleet of smaller, faster ships. They struck Krellin ships in orbit. Explosions lit the sky. Victory and aftermath. The Krellin were pushed back. They retreated from the surface. The forest was scarred, but alive. Hope and warning, Captain. Elias spoke to the Thalana. "We saved you, but the war is not over." He looked to the stars. "We will protect you." Final scene, cliffhanger. Far away, a mysterious alien race watched the battle. Their leader whispered, "Humans have changed. This war will reshape the galaxy." Final line. They feared no one until now. Now they fear the Deathworlders. The cold void of space stretched endlessly around the war-torn planet, JOR-5. The forest still burned in patches, but the Deathworlders and their allies had pushed the Krellin back. Yet, the true reason for Earth's fierce response was not yet known. Captain Elias stood on the bridge of the HSV Vengeance. His face was hard and calm. "Lieutenant," Mara approached. "We keep fighting, sir. But why do we care so much? The Thalana are strangers to us." Elias looked out at the stars. "They are more than strangers." The ancient memory. Elias opened a secure file. He showed Mara a grainy image from long ago. A small Thalana scout ship, crippled and floating in space. Inside it, human survivors. The old rescue hundreds of years ago during Earth's darkest times. A small human ship had been lost near the Moala-5. The Thalana found it and saved the crew. They cared for them until help arrived. Earth never forgot. The promise, Elias said quietly. "We promised to protect them if they ever called." Mara nodded, understanding. "This is our debt, our honor." The Krellin response commander Grux learned of the old bond. He sneered. "Earth's loyalty is weakness." He sent spies to find more information. Hidden history. The Krellin found old records buried in ancient ruins. They showed the Thalana helping humans survive. Grux's fury grew. Power revealed suddenly. Massive warships appeared near JOR-5. Not Deathworlder-sized. Huge, gleaming vessels. Earth was sending reinforcements. The Galactic Council reacts. News of Earth's large fleet shocked the galaxy. Ambassador Velith whispered, "Earth does not forget. And Earth does not forgive." The Krellin Preparagrex gathered his forces for a final stand. He sent warnings across space. Earth's fury will not save these insects. The Deathworlders rally. Captain Elias prepared his crew. "We will fight with honor. For our friends. For Earth." The fleet powered up. The final battle looms as Earth's great ships closed in. The forest of Urala-5 seemed to hold its breath. The Thalana Hope Lyra stood among her people. "We are not alone." She looked to the sky. Final scene, cliffhanger. The Camera zoomed out to show the massive Earth fleet moving into position. In space, dark shapes stirred. Alien warships not seen before. Final line, Earth remembers. And the galaxy will learn why. The sky above Urala 5 was no longer empty. Dozens of massive Earthships floated in low orbit. Their black hulls blocked the light of nearby stars. Their cannons glowed red. Below them, the jungle smoked. The air was heavy with ash and gunpowder, and yet, for the first time in weeks, the Thalana looked up with hope in their eyes. Earth had arrived inside the command ship, HSV Titan. Earth Admiral Rhea Torres stood on the bridge. She was older than most soldiers, with gray hair and a calm voice. But her eyes were sharp like steel. They tortured the innocent, she said, staring at the hologram of Urala 5. They left the weak to die, but Earth remembers its debts. She turned to her officers. Today, we end the Krellin threat. Captain Elias receives orders back on the Vengeance. Captain Elias stood at full attention as the Admiral's orders came through. Captain Elias, this is Admiral Torres, her voice echoed. You and your Deathworlders will strike the command center. We'll cover you from orbit. Elias nodded. Understood. He turned to his team. We're not here for war anymore, he said. We're here for justice. Krellin in panic in the Krellin command base. Commander Grux smashed his claw into a wall. Earth sent this many ships? His officer stammered. They sent ... everything. We can't match their firepower. Grux's eyes blazed with rage. Then we die fighting. The final assault begins. The Earth fleet opened fire. Red beams shot through the sky, smashing Krellin gun platforms and heavy artillery. The ground shook. Deathworlders dropped from orbit. In pods small, fast, and heavily armored. The Krellin tried to fight back. But their numbers were small now, scared, tired. They had already lost. Lyra and the Thalana Rise. Lyra stood at the front of a group of Thalana survivors, no longer refugees. They carried bows, spears, and stolen weapons. We fight beside them, she shouted. For our homes, for our fallen. And so they charged into battle with the humans. Inside the command base, Captain Elias and his team stormed the Krellin command bunker. They moved fast, clearing rooms, disabling turrets, and neutralizing guards. Grux waited for them in the central chamber. Covered in armor, he roared, I will crush you. He charged at Elias. But Elias didn't flinch. He stepped aside and used Grux's momentum to slam him into the wall. Then he raised his rifle. I'm not here to fight you, he said. Calmly, I'm here to end you. One shot. One fall. Silence. Death of the monster. Grux's body hit the ground with a heavy thud. His rule was over. The Krellin command was broken. All across the planet, the remaining Krellin forces dropped their weapons and surrendered. Peace at last. Fighting stopped. The forests grew quiet again. Ashes floated in the wind, but this time, no one ran. The Thalana came out of the caves. Children laughed. Old ones cried. And the Deathworlders stood silently, guarding them. A message to the Galaxy Admiral. Torres broadcasted a message across every channel in known space. This is Admiral Rhea Torres of Earth. To those who abuse the weak, this is your warning. We will not forget. We will not stay silent. She paused. You may laugh at our kindness, but you will fear our response. The Thalana speak. Lyra stood before the Thalana people. Our world nearly died, but the humans came. She looked at Captain Elias beside her. They did not come for profit or power. They came because we called. She raised her hand. No more cries for help will go unanswered. We stand together now. Forever. Elias reflects in the silence of the forest. Elias walked alone. He looked up at the stars. So many wars, he whispered. But this one mattered. The final departure. The Earth fleet prepared to leave. But before they did, they left something behind. A new beacon station. It carried one simple message. If you are in danger, call. Earth hears you. Final scene. A small ship floats near a dying colony on a distant world. The people inside send a desperate signal. We are under attack. Please, someone, help us. The signal flies into space. And far away, inside an old Earth station, a red light blinks. A human voice answers. This is Earth Command. We're coming. Final line. No more cries for help. The galaxy has Deathworlders now.